After 5 days in Uruguay, I took the ferry over to Buenos Aires, Argentina. The city is known for its tango and colorful neighborhood, but what stood out to me the most was the cemetery. Yes, the cemetery is one of the most beautiful I've ever seen in the world. Look at how architecturally beautiful this cemetery is. And this particular grave is the most popular because it is the grave of Eva Perón, former First Lady of Argentina. So after spending a few days in Buenos Aires, I took a 20-hour bus ride over to Puerto Madryn. This place looks totally different from the city it is. It's kind of like a savanna near the sea. It's known for wildlife over here with orcas, sea lions, and even the whales. So I took a tour to visit the penguin colony in Peninsula Valdez, which is near Puerto Madryn. I got to be so up close to the penguins. They are just so cute. I think this is my first time seeing penguins in the wild. And look at how beautiful the ocean is over here. I also went to this museum and look at this skeleton of a whale. The next day, I took a tour to go snorkel with sea lions. This is my first time snorkeling and it was pretty terrifying at first. After a while, I got used to it and got to play with these sea lions. They look so cute. They look just like dogs. They are so used to humans, so they're not scared at all and they just come up close to us. Next, I took another 20-hour bus ride. I spent a couple of days in this city called Rio Gallegos. And then I went to the end of the world, Ushuaia. It's called end of the world because it is the most southern tip of South America. Ushuaia is a tourist town in Patagonia, which means prices are much higher over here. As a budget backpacker, I couldn't afford to go on most of the tours, so all I did was to walk around town and visit the museums, admiring the colorful decor. Most people come here to take the cruise to Antarctica, and one day it shall be my turn. Afterwards, I spent a few weeks passing through Chile. I did a few hikes, I got injured, I rested for a while before making my way back into Argentina. El Calafate, another touristy, colorful town. Most people go there is to see the Perito Moreno Glacier. This is one of the most iconic glaciers in Argentina. I signed up for a tour, put on some crampons to go hike the glacier. It is such a surreal experience to be walking on top of the glacier. And of course, I got to drink some glacier water, which is said to be the freshest water source in the world. Who knows? Oh, we got to drink some whiskey with the ice from the glacier. That's pretty cool. Then I took a bus to El Chalten. One of the small hikes I did in El Chalten is to visit this waterfall called Chorrillo del Salto. It's a very easy hike. Next up, I hiked the Fitzroy Trail. It was autumn and the trees turned red and yellow. Everywhere I looked was gorgeous. Now that is the iconic Mount Fitzroy, the goal of the hike. It was a 10 kilometers hike, took around 8 hours. In the last kilometer, the weather turned so bad it was impossible to continue up the hill. You can't really see it in this video, but it started hailing. The wind was so strong it felt like this. This fellow hiker was sitting down holding on to his dear life, as I was. None of the hikers made it up to the top, so here's a consolation photo with Mount Fitzroy. After El Chalten, I took another long bus ride to Cuevas de las Manos, another UNESCO site in Argentina. Cueva de las Manos translates to Cave of the Hands, and is essentially these 10,000-year-old paintings on the wall. This place taught me that not all UNESCO sites are worth visiting, especially if they are out of the way. After that, I crossed over to Chile and I went up. I spent a few days in Castro. Then I crossed over to Bariloche, the north part of Patagonia. Over there, I took a day trip to Serra Capanaro. We have a beautiful view of the multiple lakes over there. I had a hot chocolate up there and then I made my way down. Next, I went to Colonial Suiza. It's a little German-looking tourist town. They sell bratwurst, hot dog, and everything just reminds me of Germany. The highlight here is having curanto, a traditional way of cooking food using heated rocks buried in an earth oven covered with leaves. Of course, I had some. From Bariloche, I took a boat to Arayanes National Park. This national park is home to the rare Arayan trees. I found these trees to look so magical, the way the branches grow crookedly like in a fairy tale, and the permanent yellow glow giving the trees a mystical aura. Magical is the one word I use over and over again to describe this site. From there, I crossed the border again to Chile, to Pucón. I spent a few days in Santiago and Valparaiso, and then I crossed the border over to Mendoza. Now, Mendoza in Argentina is known for its wine, and I'm not a wine drinker, so just after 2 days, I left Mendoza. From there, I headed up north to the drylands, a place where dinosaurs used to roam. To visit Talampaya National Park, we gotta take a tour bus that brings us to specific spots in the park. Videos and photos don't do these majestic red canyons any justice. I felt like a little boy in a candy store in absolute awe surrounded by these tall canyons on both sides. I felt so small. Oh, this is an echo spot, but the sound wasn't captured. Before I came, I thought it was gonna be just another canyon, but it was truly something else. The next day, I visited the nearby Ishigualasto Provincial Park, also known as the Valley of the Moon. Just look at the landscape here and tell me it doesn't remind you of the moon. Ishigualasto is perhaps the most underrated place in Argentina, one that stood out to me the most. It was eerily silent and otherworldly. I wouldn't be surprised if an alien monster jumped out from nowhere. Ishigualasto and Talampaya together form a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And from there, I went to Cordoba. Really, the only reason was to visit a UNESCO-listed Jesuit blog. I'm not really a cultural person, so I left early. Now, from Cordoba, I took the first and only train ride in Argentina to Buenos Aires. I spent a couple of days and took a bus up to the north to the Misiones province to visit the San Ignacio's Jesuit ruins.
Welcome to San Ignacio Mini.
San Ignacio Mini is the remnants of a Jesuit mission from the 17th century. This UNESCO site was so empty, I was practically the only person over there. I crossed over to Paraguay, spent a few days, then re-entered Argentina. The Humahuaca Valley in the north is another UNESCO site because of its strategic location, culture, and mostly for the hues of the 7 colors. Look closely and you might see the different colors. Perhaps this oversaturated photo might help. I couldn't resist a hiking trail there, which led me to this ravine and little waterfall. I had the whole place to myself. Near Humahuaca is an archaeological site known as the Pucara de Tucara, a pre-Incan settlement made with low stone-walled houses. I had fun exploring. In addition to these sites, I went to the Iguazu Falls in 2014, which is also a UNESCO site. In 2017, there were 8 UNESCO sites in Argentina. I posted this photo on Instagram on 6 July celebrating the fact that I visited them all. Then, on 7 July, UNESCO added one more site to the list. But by then, I had already left the country. Now, there are 12 UNESCO sites and I guess I have to return to visit them all.